I want you to imagine a man. We'll call him John. He's 67 years old. He's worked his whole life, raised a family, and is finally looking forward to enjoying his retirement, tinkering with his classic car, teaching his grandkids how to fish. But last week, John sat in a sterile, cold office, much less comfortable than this one. He heard 3 words that changed everything. 3 words that felt like a door slamming shut on that future he'd so carefully planned. You have cancer. Prostate cancer. The silence in that room was deafening. The doctor's voice became a muffled hum. John's world, once so full of color and plans, instantly shrank down to the size of a single terrifying question. What now? That feeling, that chilling mix of fear, confusion, and helplessness. I've seen it in the eyes of hundreds of men just like John. As a urologist for over a decade, I've delivered that diagnosis. I've held the hands of men who feel like their own body has betrayed them. But I'm here today, looking you in the eye, to tell you what I tell every single one of those men after the initial shock subsides. I tell them that the moment of diagnosis is not an endpoint. It is a starting point. It is the beginning of a fight. And in this fight, you are not unarmed. Right now, you may feel like you're standing at a crossroads. Down one path lies fear, passivity, and waiting for the next treatment, the next scan, the next piece of news. It's a path where you are a passenger in your own journey. But there is another path. Down this path, you become an active participant. You take control of every single thing you can. You get educated, you get strong, you turn your body into an environment where cancer struggles to survive. And the first, most powerful step down this path begins not in the pharmacy, but in the grocery store. It begins with your very next meal. The title of this video is bold. Prostate cancer dies when you eat these 10 foods. Now, let me be crystal clear. As a medical doctor, food is not a magic bullet. It is not a replacement for medical treatments like surgery, radiation, or hormone therapy prescribed by your oncology team. Anyone who tells you to abandon your medical treatments for a diet is not your friend. But what the science, the research, and my clinical experience have shown me, beyond a shadow of a doubt, is that diet is one of the most powerful allies you will ever have. Leading health organizations and researchers have noted that while the evidence is still developing, making healthy choices can support your main cancer treatment and help manage side effects. Think of it this way: your medical treatments are the elite special forces sent in to directly target and eliminate the enemy. But your diet is the entire strategic landscape. With the right foods, you stop sending supply trucks to the enemy. You fortify your own defenses, you create a biological terrain that is inhospitable to cancer growth, progression, and recurrence. Today, we are going to arm you with a grocery list, a battle plan. We will go through 10 specific foods backed by credible scientific research. I'm not just going to tell you what to eat, I'm going to explain why. We'll break down the science in a way that makes sense, so you understand the powerful biochemical mission each of these foods undertakes once you eat it. This is not about a restrictive, joyless diet. This is about strategically adding potent, delicious, and life-affirming foods to your plate. This is about turning every meal into an act of defiance, an act of hope, an act of taking back control. So get a notepad, stay with me, because the man at the end of this video will not be the same man who started it. Let's walk down that second path together. Before we get to our top 10 list, we need to understand the battlefield. What are we actually trying to do inside the body when we eat these foods? It boils down to a few key strategies. First, fighting inflammation. Imagine a tiny, smoldering fire in your body. Chronic inflammation is that fire, and it can create an environment that encourages cancer cells to grow and spread. Many of the foods we'll discuss are powerful anti-inflammatories. They are the body's fire department. Second, antioxidant power. You've heard of oxidative stress. Think of it like rust on a car. Unstable molecules called free radicals damage your cell's DNA, which can lead to cancer. Antioxidants are the rust-proof coating. They neutralize these free radicals, protecting your healthy cells from the inside out. Third, slowing cell growth, a process called apoptosis. Healthy cells have a self-destruct program. They know when to die to make way for new cells. Cancer cells have disabled this program. They're immortal. Certain food compounds can help flip that self-destruct switch back on in cancer cells. And fourth, cutting off the supply lines through something called anti-angiogenesis. Tumors need their own blood supply to grow. They send out signals to trick your body into building new blood vessels to feed them. Some foods contain compounds that block these signals, effectively starving the tumor. It's often the combination of nutrients working together that provides the most powerful benefit, a concept we'll keep coming back to. Okay, principles understood? The fire department, the rust-proofing, the self-destruct switch, and cutting the supply lines. Now, let's meet the soldiers. Let's start with one of the most researched and powerful foods for prostate health, the humble tomato. If the tomato were a superhero, its power would be lycopene. Lycopene is the natural pigment that gives tomatoes, watermelon, and pink grapefruit their vibrant red color. It's not just a color, it's a phenomenally potent antioxidant. In the context of prostate cancer, lycopene appears to be a multi-talented warrior. Dozens of studies have looked at lycopene. The consensus is that it functions in several ways. First, it's an elite antioxidant, protecting prostate cells from the DNA damage that can initiate cancer. Second, some research suggests it can help induce apoptosis, that self-destruct sequence, in existing prostate cancer cells. And third, it may interfere with the way cancer cells communicate, slowing down their growth and spread. Here's the crucial part. Your body absorbs lycopene far more effectively when tomatoes are cooked. The heat breaks down the plant's cell walls, releasing the lycopene. And it's fat-soluble, which means you should eat it with a healthy fat like olive oil. So, what does this mean for you? It means a simple, delicious tomato sauce on whole wheat pasta is a prostate-fighting powerhouse. Tomato soup, stewed tomatoes, even a healthy, low-sugar ketchup. One study showed men who ate 2 or more servings of tomato sauce per week had a significantly lower risk of developing prostate cancer. Don't just slice a raw tomato onto a sandwich and call it a day. Make a conscious effort to incorporate cooked tomato products into your diet several times a week. It's one of the easiest and most effective dietary changes you can make. Next on our list is a family of vegetables I tell my patients to eat with almost religious devotion. The cruciferous vegetables. This family includes broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, kale, and cabbage. Their secret weapon? A group of compounds called glucosinolates, which break down into biologically active compounds, most notably sulforaphane. If lycopene is a shield, think of sulforaphane as a highly intelligent smart bomb. Sulforaphane is a fascinating compound. Research has shown it can selectively target and kill cancer cells while leaving normal prostate cells healthy and unharmed. It's one of the most potent inducers of what we call Phase 2 detoxification enzymes in the liver. In simple terms, it turbocharges your body's natural ability to grab onto carcinogens and flush them out before they can do any damage. Furthermore, sulforaphane has powerful anti-inflammatory effects and has been shown to inhibit enzymes involved in the progression of cancer cells. To get the most sulforaphane, how you prepare your broccoli matters. The enzyme that creates it is released when the plant is chopped or chewed. However, this enzyme is destroyed by high heat. So, what's the trick? The hack and hold method. Chop your broccoli or cauliflower and then let it sit for 30 to 40 minutes before you cook it. This allows the enzyme to do its work and create the sulforaphane. After that, you can lightly steam or stir-fry it. Overboiling is the worst thing you can do. Even better? Broccoli sprouts. They contain 20 to 50 times the concentration of these cancer-fighting compounds. They have a spicy, radish-like flavor and are incredible tossed into salads. Aim for at least 3 to 5 servings of cruciferous vegetables every single week. When it comes to packing the most antioxidant punch into the smallest package, it is very hard to beat berries. We're talking about blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, and blackberries. Berries are among the healthiest foods you can eat, full of vitamins, fiber, and a cocktail of powerful antioxidants. Their key players are anthocyanins, which give them their deep blue, purple, and red colors, and a compound called ellagic acid. Think of the free radicals we talked about, that cellular rust, as an army of tiny vandals. The antioxidants in berries are like a peacekeeping force that swoops in to neutralize them. Ellagic acid, found in high concentrations in raspberries, has shown particular promise. Lab studies suggest it can act as an anti-angiogenic agent, helping to cut off the blood supply that tumors desperately need to grow. It also promotes apoptosis, encouraging cancer cells to self-destruct. The combination of antioxidants and other phytonutrients in berries works synergistically to reduce overall inflammation in the body. The beauty of berries is how easy they are to incorporate. A handful on your oatmeal, blend it into a smoothie, or a bowl with a dollop of Greek yogurt. My advice is to aim for a cup of mixed berries, fresh or frozen, at least 4 or 5 times a week. Frozen berries are fantastic because they are picked and frozen at peak ripeness, locking in their nutritional value. Eat a variety to get the full spectrum of benefits. For centuries, green tea has been revered in Eastern cultures as a source of health. Now modern science is showing us exactly why. This isn't just a soothing hot beverage, it's a liquid medicine. The power of green tea comes from its massive concentration of polyphenols called catechins. The most powerful of these is epigallocatechin gallate, or EGCG. EGCG is a true multitasker. Studies, including human clinical trials, have shown it can significantly reduce levels of PSA and other markers of cancer progression. How? EGCG is a potent antioxidant and anti-inflammatory. It can inhibit the growth of new blood vessels that tumors need. And perhaps most importantly, it seems to interfere with the pathways that androgen hormones use to fuel the growth of prostate cancer cells. It doesn't stop testosterone, but it can help block the signal from getting to the cancer cell. For a therapeutic effect, you need more than just an occasional cup. I recommend aiming for 3 to 4 cups of high-quality, brewed green tea per day. Let it steep for at least 3 to 5 minutes to extract the maximum amount of catechins. Add a small squeeze of lemon juice. The vitamin C can increase the absorption of EGCG by your body. If you are sensitive to caffeine, opt for a high-quality decaffeinated green tea or drink your last cup in the early afternoon. Avoid the sugary, bottled green teas. You want the real, brewed stuff. The pomegranate is an ancient fruit, often seen as a symbol of health. And when it comes to the prostate, that symbolism is remarkably accurate. The magic of the pomegranate isn't in the juice itself, but in unique compounds called Lignans. This is where it gets exciting. Pomegranate compounds have been the subject of some very promising human studies on men with prostate cancer. In one landmark study, men who had undergone treatment and had a rising PSA drank 8 ounces of pomegranate juice daily. The result? The time it took for their PSA to double, a measure of cancer progression, was significantly slowed from an average of 15 months to 54 months. That's a dramatic difference. The mechanism is thought to be twofold. First, these compounds are incredibly powerful antioxidants. Second, and more importantly, they appear to weaken cancer cells' ability to spread and encourage them to self-destruct. Incorporating pomegranate is simple. You can drink a small glass, around 4-8 ounces, of 100% pure, unsweetened pomegranate juice each day. Look for juice that is not from concentrate and has no added sugars. You can also eat the seeds themselves, called arils, which provide the added benefit of fiber. Sprinkle them on salads, yogurt, or oatmeal. Now, we need to talk about fats. The type of fat you eat is what truly matters. And one type of fat is so crucial for your health, I consider it a non-negotiable part of an anti-cancer diet. I'm talking about omega-3 fatty acids, found in abundance in cold water fatty fish. This includes salmon, mackerel, herring, sardines, and anchovies. The primary benefit of omega-3s is their profound anti-inflammatory effect. Most Western diets are overloaded with omega-6 fatty acids, which are pro-inflammatory. Omega-3s are the counterbalance. They douse the flames. By reducing systemic inflammation, omega-3s help create an internal environment that's less friendly to cancer growth. Some studies also suggest they may slow the proliferation of cancer cells directly. I recommend aiming for 2 to 3 servings of fatty fish per week. A serving is about the size of a deck of cards. Choose wild-caught salmon when possible. And don't be afraid of the small, oily fish like sardines and anchovies. They are packed with omega-3s and low in mercury. If you don't eat fish, a high-quality fish oil or algae-based omega-3 supplement is a good alternative, but food first. This next group, which includes lentils, beans, chickpeas, and soybeans, is a nutritional powerhouse. For prostate health, the key compounds are isoflavones, particularly genistein and diadzine, found in high concentrations in soy. Isoflavones have a very mild estrogen-like effect. Now men hear estrogen and they get nervous. But these plant-based estrogens are thousands of times weaker than human estrogen and can actually be protective. They can sit in the receptors on prostate cells, essentially blocking stronger, more growth-promoting hormones from latching on. Furthermore, studies in Asian populations, where soy consumption is high, consistently show lower rates of prostate cancer. Research suggests isoflavones can inhibit cancer cell growth and reduce inflammation. Aim to incorporate legumes into your diet daily. Lentil soup, bean chili, hummus. These are all fantastic options. For soy, stick to whole and fermented forms. That means edamame, tempeh, and organic tofu. Try swapping a meat-based meal for a tofu stir-fry or a lentil stew. The nut and seed kingdom is vast, but for prostate health, 2 stand out: Brazil nuts and flax seeds. For Brazil nuts, the magic mineral is selenium. For flax seeds, the power comes from lignans. Selenium is a trace mineral that is absolutely essential for antioxidant defense. Studies have shown a strong link between adequate selenium levels and a reduced risk of advanced prostate cancer. Brazil nuts are, by far, the richest food source of selenium on the planet. Lignans from flax seeds are phytoestrogens. Your gut bacteria convert them into compounds that help modulate hormone metabolism and have been shown to slow the growth of prostate cancer cells. Plus, flax seeds are a great source of omega-3s and fiber. This is incredibly easy. For selenium, just 1 to 2 Brazil nuts per day is all you need. More is not better. High doses can be toxic, so don't eat them by the handful. For flax seeds, aim for 1 to 2 tablespoons of ground flax seed per day. It must be ground, as your body cannot break down the whole seeds. Sprinkle it on oatmeal, yogurt, or blend it into your smoothie. Mushrooms are having a moment in the scientific spotlight. We're particularly interested in common varieties like white button, cremini, shiitake, and maitake. The key compounds are a powerful antioxidant called ergothioneine and immune-modulating fibers called beta-glucans. A long-term study out of Japan found a significant correlation between mushroom consumption and a lower risk of prostate cancer. Men who ate mushrooms 3 or more times a week had a staggering 17% lower risk. Researchers believe ergothioneine is a key player. It seems to have a unique ability to concentrate in cells under high levels of oxidative stress and protect them from damage. Beta-glucans are famous for their ability to train and activate your immune cells, making your body's own defense system more effective. Sauté them, roast them, add them to soups and stews. Mushrooms are incredibly versatile. The key is consistency. Make an effort to add mushrooms to your meals at least 3 times a week. I wanted to end our list on a note of pleasure, because a healthy diet should not feel like a punishment. And here, we have a food that feels like a treat but acts like a medicine. Dark chocolate. To be specific, we're talking about the source, the cacao bean, which is loaded with antioxidants called flavanols. The flavanols in cacao have been shown to improve blood flow, reduce blood pressure, and act as potent anti-inflammatories. Good blood flow is crucial for delivering nutrients and immune cells to every part of your body. By reducing oxidative stress and inflammation, it contributes to that overall anti-cancer environment we are trying to build. This is not an excuse to eat candy bars. The key is the cacao percentage. You want to look for dark chocolate that is 70% cacao or higher. The higher the percentage, the more flavanols and the less sugar. Enjoy 1 or 2 small squares of high-quality dark chocolate a day. Or, for a more potent and sugar-free option, add a tablespoon of pure, unsweetened cacao powder to your morning smoothie or oatmeal. So there you have it. 10 powerful foods you can add to your arsenal: tomatoes, broccoli, berries, green tea, pomegranate, fatty fish, legumes, Brazil nuts and flax seeds, mushrooms, and dark chocolate. But please, hear this final, crucial message. It is not about obsessing over any single one of these foods. The true power lies in the synergy. Think of it like building a championship sports team. The berries are your fast-running guards. The fatty fish are your strong defensemen. The cruciferous vegetables are your clever strategists. Alone, they are good. Together, they are unbeatable. This approach is best embodied by a Mediterranean-style diet pattern, heavy on plants, vegetables, fruits, legumes, healthy fats from olive oil and nuts, fish, with less emphasis on red meat and processed foods. Our list fits perfectly within this way of eating. Remember John? The man from the beginning of our video, sitting in that cold office, feeling his world shrink? I want you to imagine him a month later. He's walking out of a grocery store. His cart isn't full of the same old processed, packaged stuff. It's full of color: deep red tomatoes, vibrant green broccoli, bags of lentils, and wild-caught salmon. He has a plan. He goes home, and instead of slumping in front of the TV, he puts on an apron. He chops, he sautés, he creates. He is no longer just a patient. He is a chef, a strategist, a fighter. With every meal he prepares, he is taking an active role. He is taking back control. His future, which seemed so small and terrifying, is beginning to expand again. It's filled with new recipes, new flavors, and a renewed sense of purpose and hope. That is the power you hold. It's on your fork. It's in your hands. Your journey to health is not a sprint. It's a marathon. But it begins with a single step. Let that step be your next meal. Thank you for your time and your trust today. Be well and be proactive.